can't live by bread alone. Yeah, this word got food in it. Stepping on the devil dome, you should see the bruise in it. Backing out the scripts, told a demon to stand down. Go against the Most High, we gon' see how it pan out. The Father gave me hope, fill me with the ghosts. Now they hate it when I glow. Joseph with the coat, looking for their fruit, but they ain't got no cantaloupe. The Messiah or Belial, you can't be a fan of both. Can't serve two masters. Bread of heaven with the living water, yeah, serving up a truth platter. We ain't idolizing no folly, no, we setting up a new standard. When Christ touched down, make the whole earth shake like Bruce Banner. Yeah, bringing them troops to ya. End times getting spookier, warfare getting nuclear, mankind getting goofier. They intoxicated with a wine, damn, she done roofied them. I'm checking every word, spirit doctrine like a proofreader. I hate these Nicolaitans, hate these graven idols, man, I hate these flipping pagans. Try to play my father and I hate these imitations. Screaming out Hosanna, we escape that simulation. Better flee to me, vote these or else that lake is where you layin'. Great is he inside of me, casting out this net like I was by the Sea of Galilee. Harvest gon' be plenty, but the laborers are few. Matthew 17 and 20, there ain't nothing we can't do. I can't be no lukewarm, Fringes with the blue on. Devil wanna deal, but I told him this ain't Groupon. Praise to the Almighty, you know we gon' sing a new song. Hail the King of King, the ultra low, no Jimmy Neutron. If you keep his laws and his commands, then we can fellowship. I don't get with Pharisees and I don't rock with Hellenists. I ain't praising man, cause only Father get my reverence. I'm swimming in the word, it got me feeling like a yellowfin. Yeah, big stepper, Mr. Demon Chin Checker, trying to hear that well done, cause I feel that displeasure. Father pouring out the wrath, and he got a big measure. If it ain't about the kingdom, then I don't give a six letter. You got faith in the Messiah, you got power. I was clean up in that blood just like a shower. Isaiah 5, you were the vine that came out sour, but now we stand and giving glory in this hour. Yeah, we breaking them curses, fleeing the ways of the serpent. Follow his word and pray for discernment, cause they want us laying in hearses. We gotta rise up, raise and resurface, choose life and stay in your purpose. The price was paid like a merchant, through Christ who came as a servant. See, the kingdom is really the bag, but yet somehow they chasing a Birkin. After this you ain't getting a chance, while you living you can't but search him. Gotta call on his name like his urchin, never knowing that day is emerging. So repent at the weight of perversions, judgment coming, that thing is for certain. Let's go.
All right, Shalawam family. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all glory, all honor to the Most High God, whose name is Yahawah. Of course, I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahawashi, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. It's your brother Yasharahla, joined by the good brother Yasharahla, and we are the house of bread. All right, where we teach that man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. Right. So, of course, I knew we would start off with a bunch of scoffers in the chat, right? Today, this is an important lesson and an important video, because as Hebrew Israelites, we are to have a level of integrity, right? In the integrity that we're supposed to exude are the laws of God, right? Which is the standard of righteousness, okay? And the men that you see pictured in the thumbnail, these are extremely unrighteous men, right? For a plethora of reasons, okay? Listen, man, it's insane the level of depravity that is going on in the world, right? And I just want to make something very clear. Listen, being aware that so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans are the descendants of the ancient Israelites is indeed a fact, is the truth, right? Those descendants, as well as the rest of the descendants scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, it is imperative for them, for us, to keep the Torah, right? Keep the commandments and faith in Christ. That is indeed true, right? That is the truth. The truth is that so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans here in the Western Hemisphere are the Israelites, that we are required to keep the laws of God, right? And that we are required to, of course, have the faith in who the world calls Jesus Christ. That is indeed the truth, right? You know, when it comes to being in the Israelite community, you have various camps, right? And there's a lot of things that get swept under the rug in certain camps, right? We've seen that on display for a number of years now, right? I say all this because being in a camp is important, right? Being in a congregation is important, right? The scripture tells us to gather together, right? Having a body where there's rules and regulations and there's leadership and there's accountability being had, that's important. And you can find that in camps. In all camps, no, right? And just like the Christian church, right? You have evil people who make their way into organizations, and there's no way for you to know that the brother sitting next to you, that the sister sitting next to you, right, is not a deviant, is not into things that are not borderline, things that are absolutely just deplorable and disgusting, right? Listen, man, when I joined Sakari in fall of 2018, right, I had no clue who any of these brothers were, right? I saw brothers doing the work, right? I understood Yahawashi's command to go out to the highways and hedges to bid our people to the marriage. I understood that duty, right? I understood that command. And with that, I said, I need to join the organization. I need to be built up in the spirit. I need to, of course, learn more about the scriptures, learn how to defend the gospel, learn how to teach our people and bid them to the marriage. So I joined Sakari in fall of 2018, right? And again, there's no way that I would have been able to know that the leader of Sakari was a Batiman, right? Was a peg-loving cuck. There was no way for me to know that, right? I just had a phone call with a sister yesterday, who is married to a former brother of Sakari, and she made it known that there has been some things that have been going on for some years, and she has provided me with evidence, and the evidence is damning, right? I knew that brother. I'm not going to go there right now in depth, but I knew that brother personally. And like I said, I had no clue that the things that I was shown, right, via evidence, had no clue that those things were happening, right? So I just wanted to make that disclaimer because, again, I saw a goofy nigga in the chat saying that I'm a hypocrite, right? And I'm dragging my own people in our name in the dirt. So many things wrong with that statement, right? We as Hebrew Israelites, right? We are supposed to be the light of the world, right? We are supposed to be God's chosen people. We are to be above all nations, right? So with that said, like, we have to stand on righteousness, and the law of God is righteousness. Let me get Leviticus chapter 5 and verse 1 really quickly.
This is Leviticus 5. You can hear me, right?
Yep.
Leviticus 5 and 1. It says, and if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing and is a witness, whether he have seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity.
Right. So again, when I first exposed Alazar for being the freaky Batiman, Chichiman that he is, right? The just deplorable, disgusting piece of shit that he is, right? Niggas were mad at me. So many niggas were mad at me, and to this day are mad at me, right? And say, oh, you didn't go to your brother. Oh, you didn't use Matthew 18. Oh, shut up. Because the law of God, right, which is right here in Leviticus 5 and 1, says, if you hear the voice of swearing, right, if if someone commits a sin, right, and if you don't utter it, you shall bear that iniquity. I'm not going to bear anyone's iniquity. So when evidence is presented that niggas are doing vile and disgusting things, like getting pegged, like setting up Tinder profiles for his wives to engage with white men, I'm going to expose that. Matthew 18 has absolutely nothing to do with said situation, right? Because the individual did not sin against me. See, the thing is, Hebrew Israelites claim to know the Bible, claim to know God, claim to love God, but niggas really don't know the Bible, right? And niggas be just running their mouth, right? And really have no clue what they're talking about, right? So when it comes to things like this, we have to expose it, right? It has to be made known, right? The sheep need to get warned, right? The scriptures talk about all throughout the Torah where we are to put evil out of Israel, right? So how can you put evil out of Israel when you hide things and sweep things under the rug? And you just go to your brother does something gross, like your brother does something, right, like what Al-Azhar has been proven to do, right? What the brother, right, with the afro, as you can see in the screen in the thumbnail, we'll be getting into the things that he's been arrested for and charged with, right? When niggas do things like this, it has to be exposed. It needs to be put on display so that everyone else will fear, right? You got a preset? Bring it out.
Con, before I bring it out, right, to that point, like, this is part of the toxic culture that our people have in the world, right? I'm with my friends, right or wrong, right? It's that notion that I'm riding with you no matter what you do, right or wrong. I'm with you, whatever. You see what I'm saying? This is one of the worst things that are about our men in the world, right? You could be a terrible baby dad, but if you that nigga, that thorough nigga in the street, like Hayman said, I don't want to be a real nigga. You see what I'm saying? His song, because you could be a piece of shit father, right? But because you respect in the streets and your homies, everybody rock with you, right? We're gonna sweep it under the rug that you're a terrible father, right? We're gonna sweep it under the rug that you out here just doing sisters dirty, right? All because you put bread in niggas' pockets. You see what I'm saying? It's this culture of, just because we like you, right? We're gonna keep quiet about some things that we know is just fucked up about you, right? And that trends, it's messed up, right? But I want to bring out Proverbs 22:1, but I'm gonna read it in the AMP because the AMP basically gives it's like an interpolation inside of it, right? Mm-hmm. It's talking about a good name because the brother's talking about dragging a brother's name through the mud, like bro's already demonstrated. Like, that's just a terrible thought process that just has to be eradicated from our people's mind, right? This is on a good name, right? In the AMP, it says a good name, in parentheses is breaking down what a good name is in the AMP. It says earned by honorable behavior, godly wisdom, moral courage, and personal integrity, right? Personal, meaning having integrity it's personal when no one's watching, right? Is more desirable than great riches, right? Or should be more desirable, right? If you are a righteous person, should be more desirable to you than great riches, right? And favor is better than silver and gold. And what favor is it talking about? We know favor of the Lord, right? And that's first and foremost what we should be seeking, right? And how do we do that? Again, by getting a good name, by having our integrity personally, right? We get information, evidence, right? Personally, right? Of a brother that's just deplorable, right? And just downright wicked. If I hide it, then now I've partaken in his sin. I've let sin be added unto sin because I know about his sin, and now I'm going to add sin to it by not keeping the law and shedding light on it.
But that's the thing. Our people love lies. They love the idea of just sweeping things under the rug, right? Just allowing things to fester. See, here's the issue, right? Sin is like mold or mildew, right? And I brought this out in previous lessons where, according to the Torah, right, if there's a house that has mildew or mold, right, there's a remediation process, right? You gotta cut out what has the mold, right? Remove it outside of the city, take it to the dump, right? Put it under quarantine, all those things, right? And if the mold continues to spread after a certain amount of time, you have to destroy said house. So, for instance, looking at the organization known as Sakari, right? That house, there was putrefying mold and mildew all throughout the walls, right? From the roof on down, right? The roof was leaking, right? The roof was leaking, right? Water was getting in, causing all types of mold, right? And it was to a point where, guess what? It had to be destroyed, right? But here's the thing. Israelites want us to just live in a moldy house and say nothing about it. See, as for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. And serving the Lord comes with keeping his commandments. One of his commandments, Leviticus 5:1, says, when you see something, say something, essentially, right? That's the level of integrity that we need to have in this community, right? See, a lot of shit happens in the Christian church, right? Pastors, deacons, elders, they do all types of things, right? There's child abuse. There's all types of abuse that goes on in the church, and it gets swept under the rug. And we as Hebrew Israelites, right, we talk against the church, the so-called Christian church. We're supposed to be the true church of God, right? We're supposed to be the true house of God, right? So when things like what happened with Alazar, right, the peg master, things like that must be exposed. Things like that must be eradicated, because if not, then that mold will begin to grow and spread and fester within the house. Let's get and
I got a precept too, real quick. One more.
Oh, real quick. I need you to get me. It's probably First Peter. Let me get 1 Peter 4:17.
Okay.
Right. Let's get that real quick. Because right now we see a whole bunch of stuff going on in the world. Right. Right now you got China, Russia, and Iran doing drills, as the U.S. has aircraft carriers near Iran. World War III could pop off any minute now, right? However, before that happens, right, and as that happens, and before we get delivered out of this place, right, this must be true, right? So let's read that. 1 Peter 4:17.
Come, this is 1 Peter 4:17. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God.
Judgment must begin at the house of God. What we've been witnessing over the past year and some change is judgment coming to the house of God. Okay? And there's going to be more judgments. Right? Read on.
And if it first begin at us, what shall the end of them that obey not the gospel of God? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?
So again, right, we are all in the truth, right? Because we believe in the word of the Most High God. We believe on the promises that he made to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? We want the kingdom. In order for us to get the kingdom, we have to stand on righteousness, right? Yahawashi says that he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved, right? He says in Revelation chapter 2 that we must hold fast to what we have until he returns, right? We have to hold fast to the law, hold fast to our faith, endure unto the end, stand on righteousness. It says that the righteous are scarcely going to be saved. Now, what's going to happen to the ungodly and the sinners, right? But what we're looking at right now is judgment must begin at the house of God, right? You say you had a precept?
Con.
Bring it up.
Right. And it says at the house of God, but when we read on, like we read on, we clearly see that this is talking about people. It's not a building, obviously. So like you were bringing out, foreshadowing the organization we were previously with, right? It's the body of people, right? And we see that the house is festering with mold, right? Festering with all types of contamination, right? This is the wisdom of Solomon 1, reading verse 4-5. It says, "For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter." Right? And it's, when you break it down in a sense, it's obvious, right? What is our wisdom? It's the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. It's the truth, right? Abiding in the truth, right? Walking in it, keeping that integrity, like we read in Proverbs 22, right? But if you're a malicious soul, what are you? You're a rebellious, you're wicked, right? Just constant intentions on wickedness, right? So obviously, if that's the mindset, if that's your way of life, right? Or even if you're one of them people, right, that just want to sweep it on them type of people under the rug, right? Just because you like the outward appearance the person got, right? You like what they bring on the outside, you want to sweep it under the rug. Like, these are malicious souls. These are people who are trying to hide, right, things that are contaminating us and that are killing us, right? So wisdom's not going to enter, right? Obviously, you're not going to be walking in wisdom, right? Nor dwell in the body that is subject to sin, right? And like I said, again, that's this house, that's us, right? We read plenty of scriptures where it says that, those that believe in Yahawashi, we are the body, right? So how can you, being in the body, right? We're in this body, and you see your arm is getting plagued, right? And there's no redeeming it. You got to cut it off, right?
Yahawashi said, listen, if you got to chop off a hand or whatever, right? It's better you come into the kingdom of heaven maimed than not at all, right? The issue is, brothers have unbridled lust, and brothers have not mortified their members, as the scriptures tell us, right? And again, looking at the title of today's lesson, your porn addiction will destroy you like these evil men. Now, when I had posted this, we're going to get into it in a bit, right? When I had posted this on Facebook, some goofy nigga came on and was like, "Oh, what does Elder Tahar have to do with porn?" And blah, 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 right? So if you look at the thumbnail, it says the faces of fornication, right? So we're going to dive into what fornication is, right? And everything that entail with it. And then we're also going to demonstrate how these individual men, right, are fornicators, right? So, for instance, right, let's go to, I want to pull something up, right? Here we go, right? So this is actually, is this the one I want? All right, yes, let's go to this one, right? So,
man, is it Matthew?
So, why are we talking about Elder Tahar, right? Alazar, right? Originally, I didn't have the commanding general Yahawashi on here, right? But one of his major domos, one of his dick riders, right? Captain Cesario, that bitch ass nigga. He had the nerve to run his mouth and talk shit about me and put me in the same category as this evil nigga Alazar and this evil nigga with the afro by the name of Yasharahla, which we're going to get into his perversion, right? So the thumbnail says the faces of fornication, right? Fornication are unlawful sex acts, right? Now, before we dive into this video real quick, get me Matthew 5:17.
Okay.
What are the words of our King? And let's read that until we're going to read to verse 20.
God. Matthew 5, starting at verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Come on.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled.
So Yahawashi is letting us know, right? The law still stands. The law is important, right? There's not going to be a single jot or tittle that will pass from the law until all things have been fulfilled, right? Read on.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments,
if you shall break one of the least commandments, read on,
and shall teach men so,
uh-huh,
he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Uh-huh.
But whosoever shall do and teach them,
uh-huh,
the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
So again, going back to our model here, house of bread, right? Matthew 4:4, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God, right? I want to be called great in the kingdom of heaven. I know the brother Yasharahla wants to be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Brothers who labor on the street corners, teaching our people that they're the Israelites, teaching them that they need to keep the commandments of God. I'm pretty sure all of them want to be called great in the kingdom of heaven, right? Now, Yahawashi says, if you break the least commandments, or if you teach men that it's okay to break the smallest commandment, you're going to be called least in the kingdom of heaven, right? So, for instance, here, right, unlike a lot of camps, we teach that you have to wear both types of fringes, that there are two types of fringes, and that you should wear both fringes, right? You have zit, which is Matthew 15 and 38, not Matthew, Numbers 15 and 38, and then you have Gedalium, which is Deuteronomy 22 and 12, right? We teach that you should wear both of them, right? Other organizations don't teach that. Again, Yahawashi says, if you break the least commandment and teach men so, you shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. I don't want to be called least in the kingdom of heaven. I want to be called great in the kingdom of heaven. But when we look at an individual like Elder Apostle Tahar, right? This man and members of his organization for years taught, I'm pretty sure they still teach, that it is okay for a man to grape soda a woman. That it is like the Bible sanctions and condones violating a woman in such manner, right? And when we look at this individual, right, this is Alazar's daddy, right? We got Apostle Tahar. This is Eli. This is Eli in the regeneration. We got Hophni, this fat bald-headed ass nigga, right? Making whores of the daughters of Zion, right? Stealing the tithes of the people, right? And tricking it off. These evil niggas, right? Them being the evil niggas that they are, give way for niggas like Mayak, right, to be evil, right? And if you ask anyone, right, in Sakari, niggas never taught against the watching of pornography, right? And we're going to dive into pornography and not watch anything, but we're going to dive into what it means, its etymology, right, and demonstrate how it's unlawful, right? The question is fornication lawful? The answer is no. Fornication is unlawful. Fornication is an umbrella term, right, that encompasses all unlawful sex acts, right? So teaching that the Bible condones grape soda puts you now in the category to be called the least in the kingdom, because you're not just teaching the breaking of the least commandments. Listen, these GMS niggas don't even wear fringes. And they tell you that it's not wise to wear fringes outside of you going out and doing a little bullshit sit down, right, with you and your partners.
It's not wise to wear fringes at work.
It's not wise to keep the wisdom of God. Let these dumb niggas tell it, right? That's the least commandment. But these niggas taught for years that it's okay to grape a woman, right? So we're going to get to Deuteronomy chapter 22 real quick. But I just want to pull up this video, right? So this is, you have Elder Rhymelab right here on the right, Elder Tahar on the left, and then you're gonna first hear Elder what's this nigga's name? Not Gabar. What's that nigga name? Rakah. Elder Rakar.
But that's a fact.
So you got Elder Rakar right here. He's talking. Check this out.
But amongst them, and it's funny because this thing, we thought that this thing was already under the rugs already, so to speak, or water under the bridge, should I say. But it's not, because it still keep coming up, right? The Cornelius thing, that was one of the charges y'all kicked us out on.
So he's going into how right, Elder Zahar and other brothers got kicked out of House of David, right? You had one West split. Then you had the House of David, right? They got kicked out of House of David, right? So this is Elder Rakar going into it. Watch this.
That was the main thing.
So the Cornelius thing was the main thing, right? He says.
And then the rape thing.
And the great thing.
The rape thing. That was another charge they had on us.
That's another charge they had on us.
Yeah, another thing, like your asshole brother. That it's hard up teaching this thing about the rape thing because me and the puzzle, the bar was simple enough at the time, but we didn't do it to be wicked.
We didn't do it to be wicked. We talking to this brother about the great thing. We didn't do it to be wicked.
Yeah. You thought them guys were on a higher level.
Yeah.
So according to Elder Apostle Tahar, teaching that the Bible sanctions grape soda, violating a woman puts you on a higher level. These niggas are evil.
You know, that's why I curse y'all out for you. What I say? I said, why y'all told them I said, guys ain't on no level. And of all people you had to tell it to was Rahab. Rahab ain't on no level. Rahab was the biggest phony. And hey, what's up, Rahab? Shalom, brother. How you doing?
I ain't gonna lie. Eltar's one of the funniest niggas ever. But he's evil, all right? He's evil. He's a piece of shit. And GMS is a piece of shit organization.
Your hairline doing
it. But you know, see, like when we were young, I'll use the word young. We were still younger. We were younger in the age than we are now. You know, shit, it was like, you know, still young men, and we were young in the spirit too.
We were young in the spirit. So this guy is saying teaching that it's okay to grape soda a woman is in the spirit.
And like I said, as far as we knew, because you know we've been in the school all them years. Nick, you know, he was a high-ranking guy, Rahab. So me myself, you know, I looked at.
So when he says Nate, he's talking about Bishop Nathaniel of the IUIC. Right. And just for the record, GMS they hate, just like ISUPK, Commanding General Yohanan, they hate Bishop Nathaniel because they're jealous of Bishop Nathaniel.
I didn't see through him yet at that time. I didn't know. I just knew, Rahab's one of the top generals. So I just knew if you had a rank, you was on some kind of a level at that time. So
that's asinine, but okay.
It was in the school. It was after hours. The class had left, and you know, I mean, we was hanging out with them guys inside the school in the House of David on 126, and Rahab had the big bottle of the cognac. He had the fancy damn, it was $1,000 bottle of cognac. You know, he was one of them aristocratical type niggas, you know. But at them time, them guys were kind of cool. We were cool with them, so we sitting in the school drinking, talking, and then me and Apostle Cabal call ourselves trying to enlighten them guys.
So guys, the Bible says in Proverbs 6:23, for the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and the reproofs of instructions are the way of life. Okay. Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, verse 5 says, come, O house of Jacob, let us walk in the light of the Lord. So this gentleman thinks that it's enlightening to teach that the Bible, what the Torah teaches and condones grape soda. Grape soda in a woman. These niggas are evil, and this is who Alazar comes from, right? This is who Deacon comes from, right? I understand why these niggas are the way that they are because of look who they were following, right? The Bible says in the book of Sirach to make not thyself an underling to a foolish man. This nigga is foolish. Elder Apostle Tahar is foolish. All of these niggas are foolish
on certain things, and they lost it, man. And a matter of fact, Rahab looked at me because Apostle Bob brought it to him. Then Rahab,
so he's mocking a brother speaking out against this evil idea that these niggas have. Imagine that.
I mean, he actually said that to me. And then we were tripping. What the fuck is wrong with these dudes? So we were homeless, by the way. Yeah, y'all talk shit about that. And we slept in the school. And y'all didn't want us sleeping in the school, man. The following day, Boss came to pick us up, and we called ourselves telling, Boss, yeah, dog, we told these guys. And he, Chris, what the hell are you telling them niggas for? Them niggas are simple, man. And then I got
so the other elders at One West were simple because they didn't teach that grape soda ain't a woman in lawful. Mind you, this is the evil nigga who him and the niggas in his camp, his media camp, right, recorded themselves throwing curses on Deacon and Hassad, right? I vehemently disagree with Deacon Hassad. I'm not wishing death on them. I'm not praying to the Most High to bring death upon these brothers because they're teaching what they're teaching. This is absolutely ridiculous, right? But this is the type of nigga, right? So they got kicked out of House of David for teaching this great doctrine. Goes back to 1997, right? So now, real quick, I was trying to find a specific clip, right, of Elder Apostle Tar saying something specific, and I found it in this video. So we're gonna watch it real quick. Watch this.
Yeah, just looking for but the monies that come in, we do things that edify the church, to edify this truth, this gospel, to get it so people can see it. I wonder what they do with their money. Give me this video. Yeah, play that. What do they do with their money?
What happened is, these Israelite groups, especially these men, are so emotional, and they're so pussy whooped that they'll tell a man you can't go deal with a harlot.
So here is Apostle Arimlob of GM Mess, right? And he's intimating that it's okay for a man to deal with a harlot, to buy a prostitute. Okay.
You can't deal with a prostitute. And there's nothing wrong with that. Many of our forefathers.
There's nothing wrong with dealing with a prostitute, right? So, like, bro, like, how did, like, Lord in Christ. Okay, let me get Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 29.
Come on. This Leviticus 19
and 29.
And 29, right. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom, and the land become full of wickedness.
And the land become full of wickedness. So don't prostitute thy daughter, right? That should be a whore, right? So that the land does not fall into wickedness, right? Now, let's take a look here, right, at the word whore, right? So if you type in the word whore in Blue Letter Bible, right, and you go over to Lexiconic, right, you can see we have the verb zanah, which means to go a-whoring, to commit whoredom. It's a verb, it's an action, right? This word right here, this is whoredoms, right? So this is a noun, right? You got this word right here, and you got this word right here. Both mean whoredom, right? Then you have kodasha, which is specifically a temple prostitute, right? And then again, this word right here still goes back to the word zanah, right? Again, whoredom. And now look in the Greek. The Greek word for harlot or whore is porne, or pornos, fornicator, whoremonger. What does a whoremonger do? A whoremonger is someone who sells whores. Looking at the title of the lesson, right? Your porn addiction will destroy you like these men, right? GMS taught these brothers that it was okay to watch pornography, right? And when we look at an individual like Alazar, right, he had such a vile corn addiction, right, that he got into being a black cuck. Okay, the evidence of him being a cuck, the evidence of him getting into being dominated by black women that are dominated by the white man, right? The evidence of that is linked in the description, right? You can go to the actual evidence on Rumble, right? It was removed from my channel, right? Got my first channel clipped, right? And every time I've tried to upload the evidence on this new channel, it gets taken down. So the link to that evidence and proof is in the description, right? But again, they were taught by the elders of GMS, individuals who literally teach that it's okay to grape soda a woman, right? Vile, disgusting niggas they are. When we look at what the word whore or harlot is in the Greek language, it goes back to the word porne, right? When we look at the word fornication in the Greek, we have the word porneia, porneu. It's all connected. Pornography is fornication. You're literally watching whores engage in intercourse with each other and with other men. Okay? Let's go to the book of Matthew. Go to Matthew chapter 5. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 28. Watch this.
Okay.
Actually, start verse 27.
You said Matthew 5?
Yeah, Matthew 5 and 27.
This is Matthew 5, starting at verse 27. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery.
Uh-huh.
But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her have committed adultery with her already in his heart.
So when a brother is watching pornography, you're watching a whore, right? A harlot, and you're desiring her. Okay? Now, that whore, that woman, okay, she is another man's. She's committing fornication. She's committing whoredom, right? Get it from me real quick. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and 13, right? So watch this. Now, just for the record, right? We teach in the Hebrew Israelite community that lawful sex is marriage, right? Because if someone sleeps with another man's woman, that's not lawful. That's adultery, right? It's a form of fornication, right? So looking at that logic, right, that sex is marriage, how could sleeping with prostitutes be okay? How could that be righteous? And we just watched Elder Arimlab, right? Here he is, right, saying that it's okay. Our forefathers did it because they look at Judah engaging with Tamar.
Yeah.
Descriptive text is not necessarily prescriptive text. Is it prescribed for you to commit adultery because you read that David committed adultery?
All right.
No. So just because you see Judah engage with Tamar, thinking she's a prostitute, paying her, that's not an excuse, and that's not a license for you to go ahead and marry, and not marry, but sleep with a harlot, sleep with a whore. But let's read that. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 13.
It reads, meats for the belly, and the belly for meats. But God shall destroy both it and them. Now the body is not for fornication.
The body is not for fornication.
But for the Lord.
But for the Lord. Read on.
And the Lord for the body.
Come on.
And God have both raised up the Lord and will also raise up us by his own power.
Come on.
know ye not that your bodies are the members of Hamashiach?
That your bodies are members of Christ, right? We are part of the body of Christ, right? Read on.
Shall I then take the members of Hamashiach and make them the members of an harlot?
The members of a what?
A harlot. God forbid.
Meaning no. Read on.
What? Know ye not that he which is joined to an harlot is one body? For two, saith he, shall be one flesh.
So Paul is saying that if you lay with a harlot, you're now one flesh with an harlot. Right?
That's nice.
And he's saying that, but we're part of the body of Christ. And he's likening this to what? To fornication. The body is not for fornication. I would not let the body of Christ be members of an harlot. So again, looking at this harlot, she laid with the man, right? Let's take a harlot, right? The first man she lays with, that's her husband. Because again, Hebrew Israelites, we teach that sex is marriage, right? Rightfully so. So that woman, right, is married to that man. Whatever happens, she goes and she starts selling it, right? She starts selling that box. The next man that lies with her is an adulterer. The next man that lies with her is an adulterer. And the next man, and the next man, and the next man, and the next man, and the next man is an adulterer. It's fornication. The literal word for harlot is porne. The word for fornication is porneu. It's the same thing. Sleeping with harlots is fornication. Fornication is unlawful. Fornication is punishable by death. Read on.
But he that is joined unto the Lord is one spirit. 18. Flee fornication.
Flee fornications. No, Elder Apostle Rhineline is telling you to don't flee fornication. Run to fornication. It's okay to lay with the harlot. Read on.
Every sin that a man doeth is without the body. But he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body.
Sinneth against his own body. So when you engage with a harlot, you're engaging in fornication and you're sinning against your own body. Read on.
It's like self-mutilation or killing yourself. All right. 19. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit?
Your body is supposed to be the temple of the Holy Spirit. But these guys talking about, yeah, man, it was, we were young and we was in the spirit and blah 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 blah. Yeah, we was trying to talk to these guys because we thought these guys was on the level, man. All right, when we talking about the great thing, man. Yeah, and yeah, man, we can go and deal with harlots, man. But we got the spirit of the Most High God, man. We worship Yahawah, basham, Yahawashi, basham, Barakath. Yeah, man. Niggas claiming to have the spirit of God, but dealing with harlots. Teaching it's okay to deal with harlots. Teaching it's okay to grape soda a woman. You niggas do not have the spirit of God. You niggas have the spirit of Shaitan, Satan. Niggas are evil. Right? Read on.
Again, verse 19. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, which is in you, which ye have of God, and ye are not your own.
Come on.
For ye are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's.
Now, again, the brother Mayash read for us Wisdom of Solomon 1, where it says that wisdom, like the Holy Spirit, will flee deceit and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in. Niggas can claim to have the Holy Spirit and engage with harlots. Insanity. Right? Insanity. Let me get Colossians chapter 3 real quick. Colossians 3 in verse 5.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 5. Mortify, therefore, and I got a precept. Mortify, therefore, your members which are upon the earth. Fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, Salakia, and covetousness, which is idolatry, for which things sake the wrath of God cometh on the children of disobedience.
So the wrath of God comes on children of disobedience, right? So why did I come here? Paul's telling us, he's admonishing the church of Colossae to mortify their members, right? It means kill your body parts, right? If you, again, Yahawashi said it's better to, if your hand offend you, right, chop it off, because it's better to enter the kingdom maimed than to enter into hell whole, right? Roughly paraphrasing, right? So you have to mortify your members, right? You brothers, you gotta stop giving into lust, right? You have to stop watching pornography, which is fornication. Like, it literally, it's the word pornography, right? Etymologically means fornication. That's what it means. When you watch it, you're engaging in fornication. Yahawashi says if you look upon a woman and lust after her, you've already committed adultery in your heart. So every time you watch pornography, you're committing adultery in your heart, in your mind, right? Same thing with covetousness, right? We're told to not covet anything that's our neighbor's wife, his ox, anything that is our neighbor's. We're not to covet, because if you covet something that's not yours, now you're willing to do anything for it. You see a brother walking down the street with a sister, she fine, right? And you're like, oh man, he with her, she with him. Oh, I'm about to take her. You now committed adultery in your mind. Then niggas gonna put all the moves to try to steal this man's woman, right? And then you're gonna go and commit adultery with her. It started in your mind. The same way, if you see something that someone has and you want it, you're like, man, I want that. Now you're gonna go and rob them. You're gonna steal from them. Sin starts in the mind. That's what Yahawashi is teaching us, right? So going back here to Paul and his admonishment for the church of Colossae, he's telling us to mortify our members, right? Fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, covetousness, which is idolatry. These things bring about the wrath of God upon the children of the disobedient, right? So GMS teaches it's okay for you to purchase prostitutes. And guess who continued teaching that? Alzar and Deacon. They continue teaching that. Flee fornication. Flee the harlot. Flee away from the strange. Wisdom will keep you away from the strange woman. I remember I was talking to a brother, right? When I first came into the camp, right? The brother saying, yeah, we can sleep with whores. Even Israelite whores. I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, like the Torah says there should be no whores of the daughters of Zion. He said, she's already a whore. I'm like, well, the law tells us to not suffer sin upon our people. So I'm supposed to, so you're telling me that it's okay for me to go and purchase an Israelite whore, right? Because she's already a whore and it's somehow valid. Nigga, what? Made no sense to me, right? But it makes sense in the minds of simple niggas, evil niggas who listen to evil niggas like the elders of GMS, right? Let's get back to this video real quick, right?
You know?
So let's go back.
You know, these Israelite groups, especially these men, are so emotional, you know, and they're so pussy whooped that they'll tell a man, you can't go deal with a harlot. You can't deal with a prostitute. And there's nothing wrong with that. Many of our forefathers dealt with prostitutes, you know, and they have a problem with that.
Lock it, keep us,
because they've been wet.
I want to touch on that point because, like, you see how, like, and that's manipulative as hell. Like, oh, you know, you're emotional, you're a chump, right? You know, you could have your way with these women, essentially. If you think you can't, then you're a chump, right? And he just thinks like he's a man of the Lord, right? That's why I wanted to bring this precept out, because Proverbs 31, it says, give not thy strength unto women, right? We know in Psalms 28, it says what? The Lord is my strength and my shield, right? And right, he's my help. So you giving your strength to women, right? This mindset, right? Giving your strength to women, what it's talking about is just, you know, really essentially you giving yourself over to the lustful desires, right? When you're talking about Paul in Colossians, is what's that? Romans, matter of fact, let me get it, right? Romans 1.
Yeah, we're gonna get into Romans 1 in a second. Yeah.
Right. But that's the point, right? Brothers is giving they strength to women, and they think they're not. Like these guys that think I'm the alpha man, and they got this mindset, they really have given their strength to women and don't even know it.
Yep. Run out of their wits for women and are destroyed by it.
And they've been peeved.
Brothers, can we deal with prostitutes?
I'm glad the brothers of IUIC have the wherewithal and the smarts to know that you cannot deal with prostitutes.
Well, now you know where their money goes. Now you know where their money goes. I'm not going to prostitution. That was this. Oh, Lord have mercy. Give me the next one. Now notice, I'm going to slander them. I'm going to let them speak. Their own words going to condemn them.
I don't know where these niggas. So this is one of the things that these niggas keep spreading, right? As they were pushing this grape doctrine, doctrine, right? That it's okay for a man to grape soda a woman. Where are they getting? Where are they doing a Pewter research poll? Like, where are they getting these stats from? That it's yeah, man. It's top 3 women's fantasy to get raped, man. Nigga, what?
Sisters, is your fantasy to get raped? I don't know what the hell he's doing. These dudes.
That's that.
It's just evil.
See, now, if I had.
Porn putting it in their mind. You know, they got them rape scenarios. They think.
So this guy's no longer in the truth. He's a Fallout Boy, right? He's saying if you don't think like this, then you're an F word. You're an F word if you are a man and you don't want to violate a woman, right? Let's move on a little bit. I just want to get to the part. All right, so watch this.
We never taught a quote unquote rape doctrine.
So they out here saying that they never taught a quote unquote rape doctrine.
Rape doctrine.
Hey, what I'm showing y'all in these videos, they lie. And they set themselves up as the apostles of Christ, and they lie. And some of y'all be window shopping, thinking about, maybe I should join, not y'all here, but the ones online. Maybe I should join this camp. Well, you're going to be a fool. You make that decision. Play on other show.
Hey, whoever that was in the chat.
So hold on. Listen to what Tahar says, right?
You join this camp. Well, you're going to be a fool. You make that decision. Play on other show.
He says, if you tell me I can't grape a woman, if I feel like graping a woman, I'm going to grape a woman. That's Elder Apostle Tahar saying that if he wants to grape a woman, he's going to grape a woman. So this man in his church of demons, that is GMS, have gone around teaching that you can grape a woman. Now, again, we read Matthew 5, which says that if you break the least commandments and teach men so, you shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. They're teaching you to commit sins unto death, right? That it's okay to sleep with a harlot, with a prostitute, which is fornication, punishable by death. They're teaching you that you can grape a woman. So let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, right? Deuteronomy chapter 22.
Exactly. Second address. Who's that? 695. How you even get aroused?
I don't understand it, bro. Like, how could you get like, bro? What are we talking about? Niggas are evil, man. So we're gonna start at verse 23. Deuteronomy 22 and verse 23, right? So let's demonstrate how these niggas don't know what the hell they're talking about. So read that.
Deuteronomy 22 and verse 23. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both out. Excuse me. You shall bring them both out unto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die.
Mm-hmm.
The damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he had humbled his neighbor's wife.
So again, this is a situation demonstrating, because actually when you read verse 22, it says, if a man found lying with a woman married to a husband, she's already married, it's already been consummated, they shall both of them die, right? Both the man and the woman shall be put to death, and it says that thou shalt put away evil from Israel, right? We must put away evil from Israel, okay? Then it's given a scenario where a woman, she's still a virgin, right? She still hasn't slept with a man, but she's betrothed or promised to a man, to a husband, right? It says that in this situation, because she cried not, right, you put her to death and the man to death because he humbled his neighbor's wife. So this is considered adultery, right? Verse 25, bring that out.
But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her, and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die.
So the Torah is explicit that if a man force a woman, he lays with her, he is to be put to death. Verse 26.
Verse 26. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter.
So the Torah is comparing you violating a woman, grape sodaing a woman, is as if you murdered her.
And read the rest for the simple niggas.
We're gonna get there, right? So this is a sin punishable by death. These evil niggas teach that it's okay for you to do that because they don't know the Bible. Yeah, man. I thought these guys was on a level, man. I thought someone would have raped, man. I thought these guys are simple, man. Tall cusses doesn't, man. This nigga he ain't on no level, right? Just evil niggas because they're high-minded because they think that they're on some level. He said, "Oh yeah, these guys not on a level to understand that you can violate a woman, nigga." What? Read on.
Verse 27. Again, for you simple niggas, those maybe she didn't cry, maybe because it didn't say nothing about her crying. For he found her in the field and betrothed, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. Right? So that's why I was talking about in a city, because in a city, right, there's people around, right? If I hear a woman yelling grape outside of my window, I'm gonna pick out to see what the hell going on. So this is what the law is showing us, right? Read on. Verse 28. This
is a different scenario for the record. This is a different scenario. Read on.
Right. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her.
Lay hold on her. They are taking, lay hold means to grape. No. This word here that's translated as force, right? Which is the Hebrew word chazak, right?
It's not, yeah.
Right? Real quick. The word force. Chazak, where we get, for instance, Hezekiah. His name is Chazak Yahawaah, right? Which means what? Strengthen of Yahawaah. Let's take a look at what this word means. Strong, strength, prevail, stronger, harden. This is what the word means. So if you force a woman, you prevail over a woman. This is the situation where grape is being described, right? And what's the punishment for it? The nigga's getting put to death. So read verse 28.
Verse 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her.
So she's a virgin. She's not betrothed, meaning she's not promised to someone else, because if she's promised to someone else and he lays with her, they're both committing adultery. Right? Read on.
And lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found. Then the man that lie with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife.
And she shall be his wife, read on.
Because he have humbled her, he may not put her away all his days.
So in this situation, right, brother, you go lay with a virgin, right? You haven't gone to the father to get permission to work out a dowry. You have to pay the minimum, which is 50 shekels of silver, right? And you're never allowed to put her away all your days, right? Read on.
Verse 30, a man shall not take his father. I think that's it on that.
Yeah, right. So again, this is going into a bunch of sexually immoral situations and how you deal with it. Grape is punishable by death. Every grapist should be put to death according to the word of God. But GMS is telling you that it's okay to grape. And Alzar learned from these niggas, right? And they told him it's okay to buy harlots and to watch pornography and things of that nature. All right. And because he fed into that demon, right? When he fed into that demon, he just went down a rabbit hole, right? Real quick, let's go to what I want to get. What's that precept where Yahawashi talks about how it brings more demons?
Leaving. When one leaves.
Yeah, one leaves.
Yeah, hold on. That is
gotta find that precept, right? So we have to mind the things of the spirit and not mind the things of the flesh, right? When you sow into your flesh, right, by watching pornography,
Matthew
right,
12,
you're sowing into the flesh, right, and you're not sowing into the spirit, right? And when you do that, you're now going to bring on a bunch of demons. You said Matthew what?
Matthew 12, 43.
43.
And to the point, right, real quick, right, we brought out, the law where it says, like, if a soul sinneth, right, you have to say something. See, we see the sentiment of, these vile sins having to be, you gotta voice this stuff. Like, the damsel has to, voice that somebody is trying to rape her. Like, the Lord is clear, like, you gotta let this be known, right, amongst the people.
Yeah.
Or
right.
You're complicit.
Absolutely. Look at the situation with Susanna.
Yep.
She knew the law. She was the high priest's daughter, right? She was Jeremiah's sister, right? And when those two Levite elders tried to have their way with her, right? She cried out. Why? Because the law says if you don't cry out, then you're complicit in it, right? And now you're worthy of the death. And all praise to the Most High that he stirred up the spirit in a young Daniel, right, to realize that these evil niggas are evil and that they're lying, right? And them niggas got put to death. All praise to the Most High. That's the spirit that we in, man. We in the spirit of exposing these evil niggas, these evil leaders in the Israelite community, right? To warn. Listen, I'm not going to warn the wolf. I have to warn the sheep. Yahawashi says, if you love me, feed my sheep. He didn't say feed the wolves. He talks about how there's certain people who are ravenous wolves. We have ravenous wolves within our community, right? So let's get that. Matthew 12 and 43.
This is Matthew 12 and 43. When an unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself.
So the corn demon, right, is wicked, and brothers have to kill that demon. You have to exorcise him out of you, right? You have to kill him. If you don't, he's going to come back, and he's going to invite more spirits, more evil spirits, right? You go from watching regular, whatever, and then you kick that. Next thing you know, you into all types of weird shit as Alazar, right? As the brother YAHAWAH, as we're getting ready to dive into his charges, right? The things that he was into.
Yeah, think about it. Like, that's the only thing that gets more wicked than laying with a harlot, right? I mean, it's clear. I mean, you laying with a woman, anything outside of that is obviously just not natural. It's going to take a higher level demon to bring that desire on you. Come again, verse 45. Then goeth he and taketh with him 7 more other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation.
And what we have here, right? We have a wicked generation. This is a wicked generation of niggas right here, right? They span generations. Wicked is all hell. Okay, so really quick, right? Let's dot. So this brother was a member of Sakari Orlando, right? I was cool with the brother, right? Same way I was cool with Alazar. Did I have a clue that Alazar was getting pegged and being a cuck? No, I did not. Right? Same thing with this individual brother, right? So here's his information, right? This is on the Osceola County website, right? And here are his offenses and charges, right? If you go here and you search his name, right, on the case results, right? Stephen Pagan, right? Crazy. This is the summary of the charges, right? So the charges, right? Actually, so these are the first charges, right? We got these. I was made aware of these charges. Dang, a Warrior Allah hit me up about this. Like, I think it definitely was last week. So this bitch ass nigga Alazar, he went on here and he broke the news on his YouTube, right? Because it's all about the money for this guy, right? He did this 7 days ago on the 23rd. I found out about this before he put this video out, right? And I hadn't spoken on it yet because, again, I was working on other things, right? I'm a new father. I got the responsibilities, right? So Alazar goes in here to talk about it, right? To try to paint himself in a better light, right? To say, oh, what I did was not that bad. And he's still up here lying as if he did not get pegged. A lying ass nigga. Oh, I was just talking with my wife and finished with my wife. You're a liar, nigga. You're a fucking liar, right? Anyway, found out about this a little over a week ago from a good brother named Warrior Allah, who was also from Orlando. Used to labor with this brother, and I was just like, bro, what the fuck? Like, he saw on Facebook, right, from the Osceola County's sheriff department, them stating that he was arrested for having what? So here are his charges. obscene material possession. So here's 5 charges: obscene material possession, possession, control, view, depiction, child. You see what? Okay.
5
counts. 5 counts. So real quick, I think is this one first appearance, notice of intent, virtual application. Which one? Is this one I want?
That's a felony.
I'm trying to find the paperwork because I had it the other day, and actually, here we go. I had the brother send me the screenshots of every page. So what I'll do is I'll open that up in a second and I'll share it. Watch this, family. So this is just absolutely the most egregious thing I've ever heard in my life. Okay. Where? Damn, why is it not popping out? Damn it. Oh shit. Didn't mean to do that. Damn it. Hold on, give me 1 second, family. Let me find it. Give me 1 second, Slovakia. All right. All right, so boom. All right. So we go here, type in his name, pull him up. All right. So we have this case right here and this case, right? Okay. So the first one right here, right, was for, he has 5 charges for possession of child porn. Okay. Criminal case opened. Let's see if this will finally work. It's not giving me permission. Initial appearance information sheet. Okay, so this one's popping up. It's not.
You start with porn. You stay in it. Just invite all these demons.
Yep, you just invite all these demons, and now you into all types of freaking weird shit. I'm trying to find. There's an affidavit. This. Let me see if I can find it. The first. No, it's not the one. Yeah, it's this one right here. That's not loading for some reason.
Think it might be because of screen sharing.
I don't know. Okay, hold on real quick. I got to watch this. Open preview. Oh, hold on. Is it up here? Is this the one I want? Okay, I believe. Yep, this is the one I want. All right, cool. Watch this. So let's go ahead and stop sharing. Watch this. This is insanity. Okay. So here's the paperwork. Right. So, all right. So this is the case number. This is the address where he was. Here are the charges. So it says here, on November 18, 2025, I opened a case in reference to a cyber tip line report, which I received from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children in regard to the reported Snapchat account user described below, right? So when I first took a look at this affidavit, right, I touched on, like, because the brother sent me screenshots of it, right? I touched on his phone number on my iPhone and then went to the brother's contact, right? Then it has his email, his date of birth, all that good stuff. This was his display name. This nigga was on Snapchat sharing child porn with the display name True Brew. It says, upon viewing cyber tip, I was able to determine that on 10/28, the reported user had their information captured for uploading and sharing 4 files of a parent-child, you know what, via Snapchat. Snapchat could not provide the upload IP address. However, Snapchat did provide a recent IP address, which was utilized by the reported user on 10/28/2025. The above mentioned file of a parent-child, you know what, was personally viewed by me. This is the officer who's writing the affidavit, and confirmed to meet the definition of child, you know what, as per the Florida state statute. Right? Check this out. File. A photo depicting a female child, approximately 6 to 8 years of age, who is nude. The female child is laying down, her face down. I'm gonna just leave this here. Let y'all read it. I'm not even going to say these words because I'm not trying to get my channel clipped. This is what this nigga was into, right? Let's file another one. File 2, photo depicting
the same photo.
This one, photo depicting approximately 2 to 4 years of age. Is what and 2 adult.
I got a 4-year-old daughter.
Guys, look at this. Is the evil shit that this nigga was into. Again, when you mind the things of the flesh, right, you're gonna sow into the flesh, right? If you don't kick that demon, he's gonna go and find 10 stronger demons. He's gonna find more stronger demons and bring them back to you, right? And now you're in jail for possession of the most deplorable thing I could even fucking think of.
Like, think about it. The biggest selling thing in the kingdom of Esau is sex. It's even to the point where it is. Why do you think porn is so big? Because it's free.
And who owns and runs all of the industry? The small hats, who the Bible calls the basis of human beings, the residue of the heathen. They are the most evil people on the planet Earth, and they control that industry. This is why we have Black and Hispanic children, right, are missing, and they get caught up in what? In this child trafficking. We see what's going on right now with the releasing of the Epstein files. This stuff is evil, and this nigga was into it, right?
But the cool thing is like, it's a lot of our people probably into this. Like, porn, everybody and their mom watch porn. It's like smoking weed. All Israelis smoke. They all watching porn. Right? This is stuff they're pumping in our communities the most. This porn, like the music industry is full of porn. Right? These so-called porn stars is the video vixens for the music videos.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Amalek is pumping this in our community the most, right? For a reason. Because they out here portraying, they want to stay in that position that we're supposed to be in. So yes, let's pump this in, right? Let's pump this demon, right? And these vile demons into into your
Yep.
into
So
your
watch
people.
this. I'm gonna read this, right? So this is on the report, right? It says on January 20th, 2026, at approximately 700 hours, I, along with the members of the Osceola County Sheriff Office, executed a search warrant at the address, all right, in reference to the above mentioned cyber line report. Contact was made with a male subject identified as Stephen Michael Pagan, who agreed to speak with me about the investigation. Steve was sworn under oath and read his Miranda warning, which he waived verbally. Post Miranda, Steve stated he resides at the above-mentioned address with his family, which consists of his family members, right? It says he confirmed his cell phone is a black Apple 14 Pro Max with a black case with the associated number, right? It should be noted, while speaking with Stephen, he advised his phone was in the room. He provided his passcode for the phone, all right, that he owns. He also advised he owns a MacBook laptop, which was also in his room. He advised he is the only user of the devices, as all his other family members have their own devices. Stephen advised he believed his Wi-Fi is located with AT&T and fiber, and previously was under Spectrum. He stated he has social media accounts and recognized the Snapchat account screen username based613M and a display name True Brew, along with the reported phone number, email, and date of birth associated with the cyber tip to belonging to him. He advised the account had been suspended for a while and he had not used it. He advised he believed the account had been banned for his conversations about kids. So this is an interview, and this is him admitting to this stuff. He stated he had, quote, taboo conversations with another user who he remembers as Araceli. He advised he and she spoke and shared images of child you-know-what. Stephen was asked if he knew what you-know-what was, to which he acknowledged Stephen was informed of the nature of the investigation. He stated he initially received images of this from another social media application called Anonymous and would share them with the user on Snapchat, believing that she was interested in the you-know-what content. She stated he believed the other user was interested in that content due to the messages between them. He advised he has known this user for about 2 years. They have never met in person, but had talked about having children together and allowing the children to watch while they... Nigga, what? Stephen was shown the sanitized images of the files, which were reported in the Snapchat account, which he stated he recognized 2 of the 4 images. Stephen was read the chats captured by Snapchat. Stephen stated he has shared and obtained illicit videos, but never forced anyone to make illicit videos. He stated that he does not have access to children. He was not under the influence of any drugs or alcohol. A supplemental report with Stephen's interview will be completed and submitted. Right? Like, family, this is what we're talking about. This is absolutely, positively the most disgusting, deplorable thing I have ever heard in my life. Right? Now let's go to his next charge. Right? So if we take a look at this, he has 2 charges: animal cruelty, actual contact with animal. So not only is he into PDF files, he's also into animal files. Bestiality.
Oh my.
Guys, like, this is absolutely is. And again, if you niggas continue to watch, you know what? You continue to watch corn, you're going to end up like Alazar, and you're going to end up like this evil nigga. In the grand scheme of things, this nigga's worse. Right? But these niggas are both deplorable, despicable, evil, disgusting human beings, right? So again, here's the arrest warrant, right? Affidavit. So it's talking about how they opened up the case from that tip line or whatever about the child. You know what? Let me see. He read his Miranda rights waived verbally. Boom. Cell phone. Boom. Okay. Okay, so let's read from right here. So it says, Stephen advised he believed all his family were Apple users. He stated that he has his phone Apple 14 for approximately 2 years. He advised he's the only user of the devices. He advised his phone and laptop are passcode protected, and his family does not have his passcodes, right? He stated he has social media accounts such as Facebook, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Reddit. He advised Instagram was recently shut down due to violation of community guidelines. He was in the process of appealing their decision. Stephen advised his current email address. He advised also he uses SakariOrlando@gmail.com for his YouTube account. Stephen advised he used to have Snapchat, but it was suspended. Again, it was suspended because he was doing what? Sharing child, you know what? Let's go down. Boom. Watch this. So it says, Stephen was asked what occurred on October 2025, to which he stated, it's just me going on that site trying to find something to give this girl. He advised she did not force him to get the images, but he knew that it is what fueled her because this is what she was into. He advised he thought it would be something he was into, but then realized it was not. He shared the images in an attempt to keep the relationship, but once Snapchat suspended his account, he was unable to contact her. Stephen advised using the application Anonymous, he would receive images of child, you know what, blah, 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 right? So they seize his laptops, right?
Mind you, this is a woman that he's dealing with that's into this stuff too.
Allegedly, it's a woman. He never met her in person. He could have been getting catfished.
Yeah. By a trainee.
Could have been, right? Said he had obtained illicit videos, but never forced anyone to make illicit videos. He said he does not have access to children except for his 16-year-old sister who resides with him. Let me see. Where is it? Where is it?
Great point, sis. Right? You're right. Israel's still gonna be like, yo, he can repent. He can, oh my goodness.
Listen, you know how niggas are, right?
Nah, you see, Israel ain't gonna sweep that on the rug because he ain't Alazar. He ain't
they respect the
beloved teacher.
Okay, hold on. Let me find it. Damn, where is it? Okay, boom. All right, so he found these files on his computer, right? So this file says description. This video depicts a tan-colored golden retriever, a nude adult male. The male is exposing his blank in one hand, so he's choking his chicken, right? The male walks towards the dog and places his blank in front of the dog's face, where the dog begins licking the male's. This video is centered on the animal engaging in blank conduct with the male. The video is in color, has audio, and is approximately 10 seconds in length. Right? Here's the next description. This video depicts two tan-colored golden retriever dogs, a nude adult male. The male is nude and exposing his. The male is sitting on the edge of a bed with his legs splayed open and slightly bent at the knees toward his chest. The male is blank with one hand and signaling the dogs to approach. The male places his blank in front of the dog's face, where the dog then begins licking the male's. this video is centered on the animal engaging in contact with the male. It should be noted, these images appear to depict Stephen Pagan engaging in conduct with animals. EXIF data from the images revealed the images were filmed on an iPhone 14 Pro Max, which is his phone. The dogs in the video match the dogs present at the home, his family's home. The flooring in the bedroom articles match the ones in his room, and the shoes shown in the video match the shoes that belong to him and were provided to him the day the residential search warrant was executed. Lastly, one of the golden retriever dogs in the video is wearing a diaper, which is also observed the day the residential search warrant was executed. So this nigga was into bestiality.
Crazy.
Listen, very hard to listen to, very hard to read. Right? Shit like this, there's no space for it in this community. This nigga, the Most High God is going to destroy him. See, again, pornography is fornication. Engaging with it, watching it, you're engaging in fornication. See, when we were in Sakari, they didn't teach that was the case. So it's this gray area, right? And it just enabled brothers to continue in engaging in it, right? And if you don't beat that demon, if you don't destroy that demon, because it's a demon, if you don't destroy it, again, he's going to go find some other stronger demons, and now you're into being a black cuck. Now you're into being dominated by black women who are dominated by the white man, like Alazar. Now you're into sharing child, you know what. Now you're into recording yourself, spanking your chicken, right, and having your dog lick.
Let me read that Matthew 12 again.
Yeah, bring that out again, man.
Come, Matthew 12 and 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. Then he saith, I will return into the house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Right? Cleaned up. Right? Then he goeth, right? Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. And they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first.
So again, here you are, you all alone, you at home, right? You pull up P-Hub, you pull up X, because Twitter is nothing but pornography. There's nothing but it on it, right?
Never even got to get on.
Right. Again, when we went into the evidence of Alazar, right, he was literally sending his wives videos of black women engaging with white men, right? Actually, I gotta, and the thing is, people say, oh, but he can repent, and oh, he was, shut the fuck up, right? I'm gonna show you a clip. This is from this right here. Is it this one? Hold on, give me a second. Hold on, watch this. Is it this one? Because let me tell you something, man. Watch this. Shit, nigga, he won't. Is it this one? Okay, watch this. Watch this, family. Watch this. This is, man. These niggas are evil. Absolutely evil, right? So here's y'all boy. Watch this.
He's 40. I'm gonna tell you why he might be low touch. You know, on the second scene, he fucked men on the boat, right? He didn't even know. Jackson might be low touch. Nigga, I'm just telling you, nigga, you didn't even finish. They talking about the way it was shot and it took him when he had to hurry back to the boat because it was on the man. Fuck all that, nigga. You ain't nothing. What's the point of watching the porn and then no fucking cum shot, dog? You're
Hey, yo.
That's great.
Let me tell you something. This is a chief priest. So he's talking about Adam 22, right? Adam 22, his wife was known as Lena the Plug, right? They both filmed porn videos together, right? And recently, a brother who's a porn star, right? He had he shot a scene with her, right? Yes, fair use. And he recently just boxed that man and got knocked out, right? Just quit right in front of her, right? So he took your wife, and then he knocked your ass out in front of your wife. Crazy work, right? And so Alazar is he's a no jumper groupie, right? He wants to be on no jumper so badly, right? He's talking about it on his little chicken shit podcast, right? With these two goofy niggas, right? Nashar and Isaiah, you niggas should be ashamed of yourself. You niggas are fucking evil for being with this nigga, right? And this is a joke, guys. Man, nigga said, what's the point of watching a you know what? A porno, right? If there's not a so you want to watch another man ejaculate? This nigga's gay, and that's why he was into BWC. He was into big white you know what's, right? Having with with black women. This is and this nigga had the nerve to come up on YouTube, right? To try to, break this story, right? Of the brother YAHAWAH getting charged for the shit that he did, right? The evil shit that he did, because he's trying to pay himself as, I'm not that bad, man. Yeah, I was just, having a little fantasy with my wife and we were just talking. No, nigga, you set. Like, guys, this nigga literally created new email addresses and Tinder profiles with those email addresses for his wife to solicit white men. Then he orders a ped kit, right? And if you go to the description, right, the links to that evidence is there. And him reminiscing and talking about how great it was and this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 all this. This nigga is evil and disgusting. He's a homosexual at heart, right? Just vile. So let's go to the book of Romans chapter 1.
Yep, I already got it up right now.
Right, Romans 1 was started around.
Let's start at 22.
Just start at 18.
Con. Romans 1 and 18. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men.
All ungodliness and unrighteousness of men. Alazar is unrighteous. Elder to Apostle Tahar and all the elders and niggas of GMS are unrighteous. Teaching that it's okay for you to engage with prostitutes, right? It's okay for you to grape soda a woman, right? Unrighteous as fuck, right? And we're going to get into the commanding general Yohana. That nigga is unrighteous. God. Read on.
Again, against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. because that which may be known of God is manifest in them, for God has showed it unto them.
So again, it says they hold the truth in unrighteousness, right? These niggas are supposed to be in the truth, but they're living so unrighteously, right? Read on.
For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened.
So these niggas' foolish hearts have been darkened, right? They're vain in their imagination, right? Read on.
Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools.
Yeah, man, this nigga's not on the level, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, because you know, GMS here, Elder Pastor Hart, yeah, you got the best breakdowns. Right? Professing themselves to be wise. Oh, the all wise Elder Apostle Tahar. All wise. And then you got the Grand Poobah himself, the chief priest, aka the gorilla Hebrew, professing himself to be wise. Yeah, man, I debated PhD scholars and this, that, and the third, but professing themselves to be wise, they became what?
Became fools.
Now you on a little chicken shit podcast, right? Talking about what's the point of watching a porno without a cum shot. Nigga, you're gay. You want to watch another man be pleased. That's crazy. Right? Read on.
And changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible men, and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things.
So now you're going into idolatry and things like that nature. Read on.
Verse 24, wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts.
Through the lust of their own hearts, he gave them up to uncleanness. Read on.
To dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
The brother of YAHAWAH dishonored his own body by engaging with golden retrievers. Right? Alzar dishonored his own body by ordering a pet kit and having it used on him. Dishonored his own body. Right? Read on.
Who changed the truth of God into a lie.
These niggas changed the truth of God. It's not gay if it's my wife. That's the justification that he gave so that it would happen. Like this is the type of nigga. See, I've been bringing it up for quite some time. Listen, sin is the transgression of the law. The word transgress means to cross the line. The law is a line, right? Now, iniquity, right? The word means perverseness. Perversion, right? So when you twist or pervert the Torah, right, pervert the Bible and weaponize it to justify your evil lusts and desires, that is iniquity. And that is what these niggas do, right? They twist and bend the word of God into a pretzel, right, to justify their evil lusts and desires, right? Read on.
Okay. And worshipped and served the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen.
Read on.
Verse 26, for this cause God gave them up unto vile affections.
God has given certain niggas up to vile affections. Read on.
For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
So it's going into how even women, right, they began to engage with each other. Right, going back to the, of course, this is the church at Rome, right? Because they're living amongst these heathen doing all types of debaucherous things, right? Just evil and disgusting, right? And our people are seduced by the ways of the wicked and start following them, right? Read on.
Conan, this is the point I was going into with Proverbs 22, when you giving your strength unto women, right? The natural, when you give your strength, what it's talking about, you're giving your strength unto pleasure, really, right? That's what you're doing. That's what it's talking about. You're strengthening the women, and that's why it graduates into unnatural affections
Mm-hmm.
because you giving your strength to this, right? So for even their women, they change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men.
Likewise also the men.
Leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another.
Come on.
Men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves the recompense of their error, which was meat.
That's on that, right? So again, Paul's is going into how, these sexually immoral practices were things that our people engaged in as they lived amongst the heathen, right? He goes on to say, as so were some of you, right? So some of the people that were at the church at Rome, they had engaged in these type of lifestyles, right? Actually, keep on reading. Let's keep on reading.
Yeah, come on. And take that context, people. This is not talking about brothers that's been in the walk long, right? Become teachers, and then they engage it. This is people who have coming out of that, right? And now they're being led in the path of, in righteousness. Right, verse 28. Verse 28. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind.
So now Alazar is given over to a reprobate mind. He's over here. He's still watching pornography. He's over here bragging about it, right? Just reprobate as fuck, right? Read on.
To do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whispers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things. Right? Damn, that's a crazy title. You just constantly just trying to concoct some, like it says, wise to do evil. Right? You just
the inventor of evil things.
Find something crazy to do, right? Disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection,
and getting off on children and animals is unnatural, is vile, is despicable, is just absolutely disgusting. Read on.
Implicable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death.
Are worthy of what?
Are worthy of death.
Are worthy of death. Right? Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, right, makes you what? Worthy of death. Read on.
Not only do the same, but have pleasure in them to do them.
Right? They have pleasure in them that do them, right? So again, the brother, I don't know the brother's name, the one who Alzar was talking about in this video, right? Where he engaged with Adam 22's wife. That brother is a fornicator. Adam 22's wife is a fornicator, right? And he has pleasure in watching them engage.
That's porn. That's porn in general.
Yeah, in general. They have pleasure in it, right? So this is why you got to let go of the porn. You have to. You 1000% have to. You have to, man. Because if you don't stop, again, that demon's going to go and he's going to find stronger demons. And now you're going to be into all types of weird shit.
Great priest that, who's that? Bishop Melchizedek. Who's that? Jeremiah 48:10.
Cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully, and cursed be he that keepeth back his sword from blood. Right? See, when I said death to this nigga, niggas got mad at me. Israel, is it okay for me to say death to YAHAWAH, the nigga who was sharing child pornography, the nigga who was engaging in bestiality? Is it okay for me to say death to him? Because you niggas are the fucking moral police. You niggas know what's going on. You niggas have no clue what's going on. You niggas have no clue what's righteousness, what's righteous judgment, right? So now let's go on to the commanding general Yahawashi, third in command under Yahawashi. So this bitch ass nigga, Captain tazayazath, had the nerve to make a post the other day about me, right? Mention me with the likes of Alazar and that bitch ass nigga YAHAWAH, right? So I was like, I bet enough's enough. Time to bring this out, right? So when Alazar was exposed, right, in one of his response videos, which is no longer on YouTube because that channel is no longer active, right? He said he talked about how elder commanding General Yahawashi molested young boys in the 90s, right? So I was sent a bunch of screenshots, right? There was a Facebook group known as the Nebula on Facebook where you had a bunch of some Israelites, members of ISUPK in there, and some other people, right? So this is from March of this past year, where I tagged the individual, right? So this is a top contributor in this group on Facebook, right? And this is a general in the ISUPK by the name of Katham Gabar. So I said, hey, Katham Gabar, is this you admitting that your daddy, your beloved commanding General Yahawashi, molested boys in the 90s? I said, hey, Tyree Gaz, which is Captain tazayazath, how about you talk about this before you run your mouth, you bitch ass nigga? The Most High is going to destroy the house of Saul. I mean, the house of the ISUPK, right? So this individual said, and this is a screenshot from a post that he made, I don't care what Commanding General Yahawashi did. He molested boys in the 90s. Yeah, now what? That got taken care of. Besides, he feeds and clothes our community. Here are screenshots from a group called Nebula. Here's a individual by the name of Yasharahla, right? He says, Commanding General Yahawashi molested a boy back in the early 90s, and he changed his ways. And someone said, and you in that camp like a damn fool? Sick and sad. We had brothers who were F words, and they repented. So what? This is a member of the ISUPK, right? Here is another screenshot from another person. So notice how on Facebook Messenger, right, you can change the background, right? So this is a screenshot from one individual. Here's a screenshot from another individual, right? Here's the same person, Yasharahla, saying, Commanding General Yahawashi molested a boy in the early 90s, and it got taken care of. And besides, he feeds and clothes our communities. Nigga, what? So this nigga feeding and clothing the community is atonement for molesting a boy, and here you stupid niggas are online admitting to it. See, Yahawashi said that if Satan be divided against Satan, right, and Satan cast out Satan, the kingdom divided cannot stand, right? You ever heard the phrase loose lips sink ships? Here you got members of the ISUPK, including a general in the ISUPK by the name of Katham Gabar, on Facebook talking about how their beloved Commanding General Yahawashi, third in command of the Yahawashi, how this fat piece of shit, this fat fucking walrus, this evil piece of shit, how this nigga molested boys in the 90s. Oh, that got taken care of. That got handled. Like, what are we talking about? Here's another one. Y'all niggas say Commanding General Yahawashi molested a boy back in the early 90s. So what? He changed his ways. And that was a long time ago. Don't act like any of these false prophets are any better. someone responds to that. That's nasty, bro. What the fuck? He's repentant. Look what he does now. He feeds and clothes the community, even our Hispanic and Native Indian brothers and sisters, including the migrants. So you got niggas in the ISUPK running their mouth, admitting that their commanding General Yahawashi, third in command of the Yahawashi, how he molested young boys in the 90s. Listen, death to that nigga. And death to all you evil niggas. Because you niggas also, not only this, these niggas cook on the Sabbath. They teach people it's okay to cook on the Sabbath. Sins that are punishable by death. Yahawashi says if you break the least commandments and you teach men so, you will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. I don't understand how anyone in their right mind takes ISUPK seriously. Great point, brother. He highly magnifies his own office. Home of the truth, huh? Home of the so-called truth.
He just said, look what he does to the community. I don't care what he did. Look what he does for the, like, that's like, I can't stand niggas. It's like, I don't care how much the drug dealers, destroy our communities as long as they give out turkeys on Thanksgiving.
They give out turkeys on Thanksgiving, huh? They do a back to school drive and they give out book bags and school supplies. So fucking what? Who cares? Niggas are engaging in witchcraft, selling poison to our people, and niggas, whatever. They be looking out, man. They be giving us turkeys and stuff for the holidays and but.
Nigga said, get the jab. I'm trying to be on the beach. I'm trying to be on the beach, man.
I'm trying to be on the beach. That nigga gonna be a fucking. Who wants to see that fat motherfucker on the goddamn beach? Looking like a goddamn beach walrus. This evil piece of shit ass nigga. Right here you have, again, you got members of the ISUPK admitting that their beloved commanding General Yahawashi molested boys in the 90s. I don't care what commanding General Yahawashi did. He molested boys in the 90s. Yeah, now what? That got taken care of. Besides, he feeds and clothes our communities. What do you mean besides?
Right.
Nigga, what? Let me tell you something. Death to these niggas. Death to these niggas. Especially their commanding general. Their so-called commanding general. Listen, man, the Most High God's going to kill all you evil niggas.
Yeah, got caught, right.
But this is the home of the truth, guys. Let me tell you again, if you follow the ISUPK, you are an idiot. You follow these niggas, you are going to fall right off the cliff right along with them. That part, Abiyar. This is why I said, yo, listen, Tazayazath, stop running your mouth. If this nigga, listen, when I first created this thumbnail, right, and scheduled this live, right, I only had Tahar, the alligator, and the brother Mayak on here, right? This bitch ass nigga. I only had them on here, right? Because I wanted to demonstrate, they come from the same ilk, right? The same tree, right? You got Eli, he got Eli, El Tahar's Eli, Alzar, that's Hophni, right? I don't know who this evil, wicked ass Ephraimite nigga is. This nigga is evil, right? But Captain Tazayazath's bitch ass had the nerve to run his mouth and talk about me on fucking Facebook and put me in the same conversation, the same sentence with these two evil niggas. I said, I bet. I know this bitch ass nigga ain't fucking running his mouth when there's evidence that his fucking commanding general was molesting boys in the 90s. And here we have a general in the ISUPK, General Katham Gabar, right? Listen, guys, pay attention. Remember this profile picture, right? Remember that, right? Let's pull up this old fuck niggas Facebook real quick. Watch this. Watch this. Right? Watch this. Present. Here he is. Here's his page. Here, same profile pic. Here he is, guys. On fucking Facebook. Doing what? Bragging about commanding General Yahawashi feeding our people and clothing our community. I don't care what General Yahawashi did. He molested boys in the 90s. Yeah, now what? That got taken care of. Besides, he feeds and clothes our community. Here's another nigga, right? I found this funny because this was from a video that I did early in the year, right? And look at this comment that someone made. Someone by the name of Tribulation Saints 144 said, Tazayazath only spoke on the situation to draw attention away from UPK because right now Yahawashi getting exposed for raping a little boy in the 90s. And here's the thing, Alazar, that evil nigga, right? Listen, when Satan know he only has but a short time, right? And misery loves company. So as he was falling, he's trying to tear down as many people with him, right? And he expressed how Commanding General Yahawashi was molesting young boys back in the 90s. And here are these screenshots. Here are these screenshots of members of the ISUPK, right? Commanding General Yahawashi molested a boy back in the early 90s and he changed his ways. Listen. He shouldn't even have shouldn't have had an opportunity to change his ways. He should have been put to fucking death. Death to the ISUPK. Death to Commanding General Yahawashi. Evil pieces of shit. This is why these men are the faces of fornication. Don't be like these men. Don't be like these evil niggas.
You know what's wild though? It's like, Tazayazath was saying, it's right for Alazar to step away. But if that is your sense, then there wouldn't be no ISUPK for you to be in, because Yahawashi shouldn't have stepped away when that was found out.
Yahawashi should have been put to death. Yahawashi should have got some cement fucking shoes. But here's the thing. Listen, what's done in the dark is going to come out in the light. Right, let me get the book of Sirach. Get Sirach 23 and 19.
Sirach, you said 29?
23 and 19.
This is Sirach 23, verse 19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts. He knew all things ere ever they were created. So also after they were perfected, he looked upon them all.
So again, niggas only fear the eyes of men. They don't know that the Most High God's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. He sees everything. You can't hide from the Most High God. What's done in the dark will come out in the light.
Verse 21.
Bring it out.
Verse 21. This man shall be punished in the streets of the city, where he suspecteth not, he shall be taken.
See that? So it's funny. Bitch ass Tazayazath has the nerve to try to talk about me because I found out that one of my friends he came out that he was gay, right? And he's trying to paint me as I'm a piece of shit because I stayed at his home. Mind you, I addressed all of this right on my channel. First video on my channel. If you go to videos, go all the way down. I address all of the fucking lies and slander that was thrown my way, right? So I'm getting ready to move to Texas. It's Friday. I'm clearing out my apartment. My things are in storage. My line brother, right? He's dropping me off at the airport the next day. I asked him if I could stay at sleep on the couch of his apartment instead of him coming to pick me up from my crib that's empty, has no furniture, right? So he could drop me off at the airport. So when I asked him that, that's when he told me, because he knows what my beliefs are, he told me that he was gay and that his roommate was not his roommate. What? So because I stayed at a friend's house who now is telling me that he's gay, now somehow I'm part of the LGBT community. Let the fucking ISUBK tell it, right? And know what's so funny, right, is Commanding General Yahawashi and General Mahaiman, these niggas have made video after video after video accusing Bishop Nathaniel of the IUIC of being gay with no fucking proof, pointing the fingers at him. Oh, nigga said I don't have to have proof to know that Nate's a F word and that he slept with his uncle. That's what one of these evil ass niggas said. But you're pointing all these fingers trying to say that Bishop Nathaniel's gay when you got three fingers pointing right back at you, and you allegedly, right? And here's your partners admitting that you molested and raped a boy in the 90s. So not only are you a homosexual, you're a rapist
and a pedophile,
and you're a pedophile. So you pointing one finger, you got three fingers pointing right back at you. Death to Commanding General Yahawashi. I pray you die a slow and grievous death, you evil piece of shit. And if Captain Tazayazath says one more thing about me, don't worry. That bitch nigga is going to get exposed for being evil sooner or later. Listen, the stars are falling, right? The stars are falling. We saw Al-Azhar fall, right? We're watching the demise of goofies, the jerk offs, right? We're watching that demise, right? Captain Tazayazath's next on the docket. Just watch. Just watch. Not to mention that bitch ass nigga was literally sending money to a friend of his who was in jail and was ultimately convicted of pedophilia. Imagine that. So you should look at me side-eye because I had, emphasis on the word had, past tense, a friend who's gay. I haven't spoken to this individual in years. But Captain Tazayazath was sending money to his friend who was a pedophile. But he got the fucking nerve, the intrepid boldness, the gall to run his mouth. And now his Commanding General Yahawashi, his beloved daddy, is getting exposed for the evil piece of shit, vile cretin that he is. Fat, obese motherfucker. Family, do not be like these evil niggas. You got this old foolish nigga teaching that you could grape women, him and all his cohorts, right? Nigga said, if I want to grape a woman, people tell me I can't grape. If I want to grape a woman, I'm going to grape. That's what this nigga said.
Yeah, verbatim.
Al-Azhar is over here bragging and laughing after being exposed for being a cuck and a peggy. over here talking about, man, I think this nigga Jason Love, I think he low T, man. Yeah, man. Because when he was in the scene, he didn't even finish. Nigga, what's the point of watching a porno if there's not a shot? Like, nigga, you're gay. You're gay. Right? Listen, the movie Blue Streak is hilarious. Martin, you got Dave Chappelle. So all I can tell you is that he's gay. Gay, gay, gay. That's Alazar. The alligator. The Pegasaur. Peggy Bundy. Gay. Right? Stephen Michael Pagan. Just vile, disgusting piece of shit. Listen, he's gonna rot in that cell, right? And when they find out, and when them niggas, when he gets convicted and he goes to prison, and niggas find out what he's in jail for, oh, they gonna do this nigga in, man. Yeah. But yeah, family. So yeah, don't stop watching porn. Stop minding the things of the flesh.
Today.
Yeah, today. Stop it. It's you're engaging in fornication. Stop it. You gotta stop. Because if you don't, them demons. And here's the thing: stop, repent, and don't look back. Because if you don't kill that demon, see the demon can get cast out, but if you don't kill the demon is now able to go and get stronger demons. You gotta kill that demon. Because if you don't kill that demon, he's gonna bring stronger demons, and then you're gonna be into weird stuff like child, you know what, and like being a black cup and being pegged.
And I just thought about it, right? You know, like you said, you got to do that because when we read that in Matthew 12, you know, them demons wouldn't have been able to get in if that man had a hedge around him.
Mm-hmm.
So that means, yeah, he might have stopped entertaining that demon, but the man wasn't walking in righteousness to have that hedge about him so that some other demons couldn't get in.
Yep.
So listen, the end all be all, that whole scenario is, look, you better fear the Lord and keep the commandments, because just because you stop watching porn, right? Listen, if you don't get right, you do what you're supposed to do, man. Keep the righteousness of the Lord, them law, statutes, commandments. Fear the Most High, right? Hold your integrity, man, at all costs, right? So that you can have that hedge about you. Because if you stop porn and you ain't doing that, right? You being lackadaisical about everything else you're supposed to do, that hedge ain't gonna be up. And when them demons come back, they gonna come back raging.
Yep. Now, this brother King Chronicles that I agree with y'all, but how do we break down Hosea 1 and 2? Okay, good question. All right, so let's take a look at Hosea 2.
Hosea 1
and 2. All right. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And because people go, oh, Hosea to marry a harlot. and these are the lengths that niggas go to justify being evil.
This is how the Greek doctrine came, you know.
Yeah.
People are trying to stretch, trying to find loopholes, you know.
So here's the thing, right? Let's read that. Hosea 1 and 2. Read that.
Starting at verse 2. The beginning of the word of Yahawah by Hosea. And Yahweh said to Hosea, go, take unto thee a wife of whoredoms and children of whoredoms, for the land have committed great whoredom, departing from the Lord, from Yahweh.
Come on.
So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son.
So what niggas will do is say, you see, we could deal with whores because the Lord told Hosea to marry a whore. Guys, when you hit up a chick on Backpage, right? When you hit up a chick on Backpage, right, and you ask her what's the rate, right, and you go lay with her, and you pay her, and then you leave. That's not marriage. You're not marrying her. He told him to marry a wife of whoredoms.
Right.
Not to go pay her and have her selling the box to some other niggas. No. He told him to marry her.
Right.
They had children. Right? And this was a sign, right? When we go to Hosea 2, the next chapter, right? Verse 2, it says, plead with your mother, plead, for she is not my wife, neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight and her adulteries from between her breasts, lest I strip her naked and set her as in the days that she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst. Right? So he's now telling this woman, right, back through the children, right, through, who is it? It says, say unto your brethren, I mean, to your sisters, Ruhamah, right? He's telling her, oh, you're not my wife anymore because you're now selling a box again. You're now being a whore again, right? But the purpose of this was for what? To demonstrate how we, the nation of Israel, make the Most High feel,
Right?
Right? Because we're joined unto harlots, right? We engage in whoredoms by worshiping other gods, right? Let me get this real quick. Harlots.
Had a precept too.
You got a precept?
Go.
Bring it out.
All right. And hold on. This is Jeremiah 3. Where do I want to start? At 8. All right, Jeremiah 3. Jeremiah 3, starting at verse 8.
Bring it out.
And I saw, when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I had put her away and given her a bill of divorce. Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, but went and played the harlot also. And it came to pass through the lightness of her whoredom that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and with rocks. That's some curses. What? Deuteronomy?
Yeah, worship other gods.
Yep.
Gods of wood and stone.
God. Verse 10. And yet for all this, her treacherous sister Judah have not turned unto me with her whole heart, but faintly saith Yahawash.
So when we worship other gods, we're committing adultery on the Most High God, right? Who the scripture is our husband, right? Read on.
Verse 11. And Yahawash said unto me, the backsliding Israel hath justified herself more than treacherous Judah. Go and proclaim these words toward the north, and say, return, thou backsliding Israel, saith Yahawash, and I will not cause my anger to fall upon you, for I am merciful, saith Yahawash, and I will not keep anger forever.
Come on.
Only acknowledge thine iniquity, that thou hast transgressed against Yahawash thy God, and hast scattered thy ways to the strangers under every tree and every green tree. And ye have not obeyed my voice, saith Yahawash. Turn, O backsliding children, saith Yahawash, for I am married unto you. That's like you read in Hosea, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm married unto you, and I will take you one of a city and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion.
That's on that, right? So again, this is how we see spiritual fornication, right, which is idolatry, right? Now, when it comes to divorce, right, because you got a lot of simple niggas in Israel, right, who teach that you can put a woman away for spiritual fornication because she doesn't want to stop celebrating Christmas, or because she doesn't want to stop celebrating birthdays and whatnot. No, Yahawashi says that you cannot put a woman away except for fornication. Didn't say spiritual fornication, literal fornication. So if your woman didn't commit adultery, or she's not being a chichi gal, or she's not on OnlyFans, and she's not giving the Guck 3000, if she's not doing any of that, if she's not actually engaging in fornication, you cannot put her away, right? And if you do so, you're now guilty of adultery,
right?
Per the words of Yahawashi, right? Let's go to Hosea chapter 4 and verse. Hosea 4 and let me take a look. Hosea 4 and oh, damn, this is all good.
Yeah.
Start verse 10.
7. Huh?
Start verse 10.
Con. Hosea 4 and verse 10. For they shall eat and not have enough. They shall commit whoredom and shall not increase. Because they have left off to take heed of Yahawah.
Come on.
Whoredom and wine and new wine take away the heart.
Come on. Bless you.
My people ask counsel at their stocks, and their staff declareth unto them. For the spirit of whoredoms have caused them to err, and they have gone a whoring from under their God. They sacrifice upon the top of the mountains and burn incense upon the hills under oaks and poplar and elms, because the shadow thereof is good. Therefore your daughters shall commit whoredom.
So because we commit spiritual fornication, spiritual adultery by worshiping other gods, now God is pronouncing a judgment on us, right? He says what?
Therefore your daughters shall commit whoredom, and your spouses shall commit adultery.
Come on.
Right? And you think about this, that's your women, right? Because what's adultery? A man laying with another man's woman. All right. I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom, nor your spouses when they commit adultery. Think about the atmosphere right now of our people online. All niggas do cry about all day long. All these women, OnlyFans, you know, are women just being hoes. Like, that's literally all niggas cry about all day long online. Right? Because they're getting glorified for being whores. Right? So it says, when they commit adultery, for themselves are separated with whores.
For they themselves are what?
Separated with whores.
Come on.
And they sacrifice with harlots. Therefore, the people that doeth not understand shall fall.
So again, because Israel, the men of Israel, separated themselves with whores, prostitutes, harlots, this is why God's bringing a judgment on us by having our wives and daughters commit adultery and fornication, and him not punishing them for it. If sleeping with a prostitute was lawful, why would God bring judgment because niggas are sleeping with harlots and whores? Like, the mental gymnastics that evil niggas will do to try to twist and wrest the scriptures and to justify their evil lusts and desire is insane. Absolutely insane. Right? Oh my gosh. So they themselves are joined with, are separated with whores. And they, of course, sacrifice of harlots. Now, you have the word Quadasha, right? The word Quadash means holy, right? So this is talking about a temple prostitute, right? But then it talks about, but it uses both, right? It uses the word Zana, right? Check this out. When you look at it, it goes back to the verb Zana, which means to commit fornication. Be a harlot, play the harlot. To be a harlot, act as a harlot, commit fornication. When a woman commits adultery, the scripture says she played the whore or played the harlot.
Mm-hmm.
So God is literally rebuking our people for engaging with
just read that in Jeremiah, where it says Judah played the harlot also, but it said Israel committed adultery. So it was comparing adultery to playing the harlot.
Yeah. Very, very simple, right? So again, family, brothers especially, you have to kill that porn demon. You have to, right? I remember, and I brought this out when I first exposed Alzar for his just disgusting escapades, right? I remember brothers were hitting me up, asking me, yo, bro, how do I, how do I beat this demon, right? Because that's what it is. It's a demon, right? I don't think there's a man in America that has never watched porn, right? We've all done it. However, right, because it was just around us and it was just accessible for us, and now it's free. You used to have to buy it back in the day, right? Now it's free, right? Now it's free, so it's easily accessible, right? You just scroll on Instagram, all right, and you see a shorty pop up, you know what I mean, looking good. She got a link in her bio, right? She got the OF, and guess what? You're gonna click on that link, right? And you're gonna go and patronize her, right? And get your rocks off. Stop doing that, right? So
I advise brothers, go reset your suggested content.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You have to you could just go on Google how to reset explore page on Instagram, and you can reset your explore page.
That shit won't, because that'll trigger you. If you playing with that porn demon, you go on Instagram, you just see a sister shaking, half naked. It's gonna trigger you.
Yep, it's going to trigger you for sure.
Reset your suggestions, your content suggestions, man. Hey, and go on to Discover and follow hashtags. You need to make sure you fill your thread with what you wanted to see, man. You could go to a hashtag and hit follow on it, so everything that's on your feed is constantly something from that hashtag. Hashtag Israelite. All right, hashtag, wilderness. I got a bunch of hashtags, wilderness survivals, like little skills, all types of things, healthy eating, right?
Yep. My explore page is AI videos, freaking baby videos, dog videos, and that's it, right? Basketball, waves, that's it. That's what my explore page is, right? I'm telling you, gotta reset your algorithm. I'm telling you. Great point, True Program. Yep. YouTube is insane. You can see all types of nonsense on here.
Yeah.
But of course they're gonna censor the truth, right? Listen, Twitter as well. I'm telling you something. Twitter
is porn.
Twitter is nothing but porn and freaking white supremacy at this point.
Yep.
That's it.
Literally.
All I'm on Twitter for is I follow the Bricks News. I follow information on the wars going on in this world. Y'all see me post on my story all the time. I'm always sharing something from Twitter, right? News related. That's all on my Twitter. That's it. Right? I'm telling you, got to see. The thing is, like, some people, for me, like when I first came into the truth, right? Right before I came into the truth, you know what I mean? I used to smoke weed, right? And before I even came into the truth, for a long time, right, the spirit has been trying to get me to stop smoking weed. And I came across brothers teaching on the streets, right, going into how smoking weed is unlawful and how it's defiling your temple and how the Most High God is going to destroy you, all right? And I'm also learning that, listen, we're God's chosen people. The kingdom of heaven's for us, right? We're going to rule over all these nations. I said, I'm not going. I desire to smoke weed to get me destroyed and to keep me from inheriting the kingdom and ruling over these heathen. So I quit cold turkey. Right? Some of y'all still smoking weed, smoking cigarettes. Keep fucking around. Most High gonna smoke you. Quit cold turkey. Stop being a fucking pussy. Sack up. Be a man. Same thing with the porn. Clear your search history. If you got shit downloaded on your phone or on your computer, delete it. Delete it from the delete bin.
Yep.
Reset your algorithm. And mortify your members. Because if you don't, you're going to end up like Alazar. You're going to end up like this nigga Mayaka, right? We see what the Lord did to fucking GMS. Elder Tahar, every video I see, he's just incoherent. Just incoherent old babbling for hours. Right? Because these niggas out here teaching that it's okay to grape, right? It's okay to deal with harlots, all types of stuff. Knock it off. And then you got this fat piece of shit walrus, right? This nigga molested, according to the word of members of his organization, including a general, this nigga molested young boys in the 90s, right? If you continue to mind the things of the flesh, right, you're only going to reap things of the flesh, right? You're going to reap corruption. You're going to reap death and destruction. So stop watching porn. All right? But with that, I want to give all praises, all glory, all honor to the Most High God, whose name is Yahawah. Of course, I do so in the name of his only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahawashi, who the world inwardly calls Jesus Christ. Till next time, Shalawam and Matawathya.
Shalawam, Yasharahla. Hey, yo, you still on?